Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the body of Christ built up. So we're going to go to Ephesians 4:11 through 16. I'm not going to read all the verses, but I'm going to bounce around and just kind of hit these points that stuck out to me. Now these are the gifts gave to the church: the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, and the pastors and teachers. Their responsibility is to equip God's people to do His work and build up the church, the body of Christ. Then we will no longer be immature like children. I skipped to 14. We won't be tossed and blown about by every wind of new teaching. We will not be influenced when people try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth. Instead, we will speak the truth in love, growing in every way more and more like Christ, who is the head of His body, the church. He makes the whole body fit together perfectly. As each part does its own special work, it helps the other parts grow so that the whole body is healthy and growing and full of love. There's a lot in there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the beginning. So it says that the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, and the pastors and teachers' responsibility is to equip. It's not to do all the work, it's to equip them, to equip us, the body. So once again, there's no bench players in Christianity. There's nobody that gets to look and just be like, well, they're doing great out there. Cool. That doesn't work. I mean, you might think it works for a while, but it gets really old. You don't grow doing that. You have to get out there, go play, make some mistakes, move on. Because we're all meant to do the same thing. We're all meant to spread the gospel, to love people, and do the things Christ did. So that includes everybody when I say all, just for the record. Okay, so let's go to 14. We'll no longer be immature like children. We won't be tossed and blown about by every wind of new teaching. We will not be influenced when people try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth. Okay, they sound like the truth. They're not the truth. So that's where you have to be firm on the foundation of the truth, or else things that sound good will often sell us, and then we'll get down the road with them and think, wait a minute, this wasn't completely true. It can be good and not be true. I think we could all agree on that. So you have to know who Christ is enough to know what the truth is. Okay, so we'll move on. And we'll go to the end of 15 where it says, He makes the whole body fit together perfectly, as each part does its own special work. It helps the other parts grow, so that the whole body is healthy and growing and full of love. So everybody's useful, okay? We're not all going to do the same things. We can't all do the same things for a good reason, because if we could all do everything, there's no reason to have anyone else. It's kind of cold, but it's true. So that's why we can't all do everything, because you have to be dependent on Him first, and then to be able to look at your brothers and sisters and say, well, I need them. I'm not the one-man show. I can't figure it all out myself. And you can think that for a while, just like you could think the other stuff, but it's going to run out. So it's okay to look to your brothers and sisters. It's encouraged, because that's how you build a family. That's the body growing. If you go to the gym and you only work out your biceps, but never anything else, yeah, your biceps are going to be great. But what's going to support them? Your shoulders aren't going to support them, your back, your neck. So it's a rough analogy, but you get it. That's why we all have to work together and humble ourselves in the body to say, yeah, I can do this fairly well, but I can't do this, or I need help in this area, and turn to that person and say that you need help. Because that's the best thing you can do, man. Don't put yourself on the island of, I have to figure it all out, because you're going to be stuck. And people will try to reach out to you, but then hopefully pride doesn't get in the way. So it's best to never get on that island, and just always be in the family, the body of Christ, and say, okay, well, here's my gifts that God's given me. Offer them humbly to everyone, and then the same will happen to you, man. And if it doesn't, it'll work out along the way. It's a process. We're never going to be perfect in it. We weren't designed to be perfect in it, but we can be perfect in Him. So the second you mess up, don't say that's it. I got to go out by myself and figure this out in the wilderness. No. There's wilderness time, but you got to look to Him and look to the family around you and know that they also share Christ in that same love. So have a great discussion, and I'll see you next time.